Welcome back to another recording of Terrestrial Nomad. We are on the Wonderland trail. We are, well, I can only speak for myself, but we are all trapped in our tents currently. I don't know what day we are on now. There's been a lot of changes to the plan. There's been some interesting updates, and I thought, what a better time to record than when I'm stuck in my tent. I've got nothing to do here. We only have 10 miles to hike today, but we are just waiting the rain out. So I think as soon as this dies down a little bit, we'll all probably start packing up here. I'm sure everyone's just as antsy to get on trail as I am. I think I woke up at about 8 a.m. and then did a few things, took a 30-minute nap, did a few things, took a 30-minute nap, and it's currently almost noon, so it's been about 4 hours now where I've been sort of awake and doing things. I've made my breakfast and coffee and smoking a little bit and just sort of listening to music and podcast, and I'm bored. I'm ready to get back on that trail. But before I do, I thought, why not record a little bit? So I'll get you guys up to date with what the hell is going on the Wonderland trail. Let's see. The last time we recorded, we were just about to get into Longmire. We were just sitting on the side of the road waiting for Gush and Hero, and we were just sort of like loving that we finished for the day. I think we were permitted where we were supposed to be hiking like 24 miles or something kind of crazy like that with resupplying at Longmire. But because of our last minute hike and this last minute permit popping up, we didn't really plan the way we should have. We're on the Pacific Crest Trail, so, we've been going with the flow now for 5 months. We have some expectations of towns and places, so we kind of thought Longmire was going to be a place that we could actually buy or resupply food. We ended our hike of 24 miles that was permitted on our permits of where we're supposed to stay. We ended it at about 14 miles at Longmire, and the reason we stopped at Longmire and knew we weren't going to go any further was because of how bad the resupply situation was. There was not really food to resupply with, your typical food. It's a national park convenience store, sort of. It's more of a gift shop that sells snacks. So, the resupply didn't look very feasible. So we just sort of sat there and hung out in Longmire for a little while. And we met 2 other counterclockwise through hikers, long-distance hikers, whatever you want to call them. Their names were Kayla and Diane. They were super cool, and they told us where there's some free boxes with food caches. They mentioned that the ranger station at Longmire has one, and they also told us that there is, actually, I don't even know if I should repeat it here. There was basically a place that we could go and camp, sort of under the radar. I don't want to give out too many specifics or who gave us the details, but I will just say that there is one young man that works at Longmire I suppose he's a host, but for the restaurant there, and he's done sections of the PCT. When he saw us, he knew exactly who we were and what we were, and he really helped us out. But anyway, we found a great place to stay at Longmire, and we stayed there. Woke up in the morning, raided the hiker box, huge hiker box. This is the end of their season, so excuse me, hiccups. It was the end of their season, so of the Wonderland Trail, so there was quite a bit of food. The 5 of us got about 3 days of food, and we were trying to plan our next move. Gush, who drove us here and had the car, he decided that he's out. The weather's sort of saying that, well, obviously we're trapped in our tents right now. The weather was supposed to be shitty for the next 2 days and then good the next 2 days after, or something like that. And Gush just said, I've had enough. I wish I could see Rainier, and if I'm dealing with this shitty cold weather, I'd rather be making miles on the PCT and whatnot. So Gush started trying to hitch out of Longmire yesterday, and was unsuccessful at first, got harassed by a ranger because it is illegal to hitchhike in state parks. But it's not illegal to talk to people who are walking by and ask them where they're going and if you could get a ride. I don't know, it's illegal to stand next to the side of the road with your thumb out. But you can definitely, every person we've talked to even the rangers have said, just hang out in the lodge or hang out in the whatever and just talk to people. So it's sort of a stupid gray line. It's just another one of those things. But that's not what we're here to talk about. It's just that Gush was leaving. That kind of took a little bit out of the morale of the group. But I started in with that I will do this thing myself. I will hitchhike back to PCT. I will figure something out. I'm on the Wonderland Trail. I have a permit, and I'm going to do this thing. So, excuse me. So yeah, so now it's just the four of us. It's me, Redwood, Shepherd, and Hero. And we went back to the ranger station, tried to get our permit amended. Not tried, we did. And the ranger was super helpful. He was on our side. We were just we want to finish this. Our buddy and our ride is gone now, but we need to just get this extended or else we can't finish. And I don't think we even mentioned PCT, but we just mentioned that we just want to finish and we wanted to see this thing through. We're about halfway now, and we've only got, I think, 3 more days, really. More than halfway. So today would be, if we do our miles and if the rain kind of clears up, we've got 10 to do today, and then tomorrow is something like 6 or 7, and then I think it's a 13-mile day, and then 10 out. Something like that. I'm giving rough estimates. I don't have the permit, I don't have the map, and I don't know. I know tomorrow we're going to Nickel Creek, then we're going to Summerland, which is a shelter, and then I believe we go to Sunrise. I have no idea, so all that information will be talked about later. I think that might be irrelevant to you. So we ended up hiking just 3 miles out to Paradise Camp. We got here and the group site was kind of filled up, but the guys who were filling it up were pretty cool, offered us some whiskey, so we got a little drunk last night. I also packed out 5 beers. I think Hero packed out 4, Redwood packed out a couple. So we had a good old time last night. It didn't start raining until late, so it was cool. And then I have a feeling that there's going to be a small window where we can at least break camp, and then it's just going to rain on us for the next 10 miles, which I think we're all prepared for. So that's going to be today, which, who knows. So the last time I did this solo recording in my tent, trapped in rain, we ended up leaving at 5 p.m., which I think I mentioned in that other podcast. We only did 3 miles out, and then we made up our miles the next day and did 18 miles, which was pretty brutal out here. It's probably like doing a 35 on a PCT, excuse me, as far as elevation goes. And, yes, the next day. That day we did 18 was the acid day, which was a lot of fun. We left the shelter and took acid. Instead of trail by 10, we said acid by 11. So that was just like a crazy adventure, walking through this roller coaster of Jurassic Park, and man, it's really spectacular out here. We haven't gotten too many good views of Mount Rainier. We had a good one from Longmire the night we got there, and then the day before we left, or the day that we left, But yeah, on trail we haven't really had many good views of Rainier. None solid, so probably won't for a couple days still. And yeah, it's just been really cool. That day was just mind-blowingly good. Got stung by a bee a couple times. I think Gush is up to 3 stings. I know Hero got stung as well. So the bees out here are aggressive. Not sure why. Yeah, didn't have any mice last night. Let's see, after that 18-mile day, that was the day we got into Longmire. So I think the story would all be kind of caught up. I hope some of this comes together and makes sense, and it's all processable as an adventure and not just a bunch of scrambled information. So you might have to go back and listen to a couple episodes or something. And I hope I'm doing a good job of stringing this adventure together. Got a few changes and little bumps in the roads, but we will power through, and through hikers or long distance hikers are resourceful people, so we'll figure it out. Today is just going to be a wet, rainy day, and tonight is going to be also wet, cold, and rainy, so that's what we're looking forward to today. Still just hanging out in the tent, gonna do a few more things here, and then I'm gonna mentally prepare for how fast I can pack my bag in my tent when the rain does start dying down. See if I can make a pact with the other guys. Maybe we all hoot and holler at once when it's time to pack up or something. So eventually we're gonna just have to get wet and get in the rain. So, but right now we're just held up like scared animals that don't want to get wet in their shelters. But morale is high. Everybody's in a good positive attitude. We're having a lot of fun, and I will catch up with you later. Hopefully there's no rain and we can all record together and sit around. That almost happened last night, but it got a little too cold and I just wanted to live in my tent. Yeah, I've got nothing else to say. I will talk to you guys another day, maybe even later today. No promises though, so. Alright, until then, you can imagine me curled up in my sleeping bag in my down jacket and inside of my tent like a scared little boy. Okay, that's all. Bye. Love you.